Jurgita, do you like Taylor Swift? Do you
No,
know she's coming to Europe?
I know, unfortunately.
Where's the closest she's going to be?
A few cities in Germany. I think she's starting the tour from the Netherlands.
Okay. Do you know anyone who's got a ticket or is planning to go? I know
I
a
know
mate of mine did
Ernestus
go.
is a fan, no?
Anyhow, I mean, whatever you think about Taylor, if you want to see her in Europe, beware and buy a ticket from a reliable platform, because there was a breach on Ticketmaster, one of the platforms selling tickets to these grand shows, and it could be an issue with concert goers who buy tickets and they can buy faked ones, I guess, or lose their money or whatnot. That's how energetically, as you can see, we're starting our show today. It's been quite a busy week, guys. Ticketmaster was breached even last week already, but then things are still happening inside around that incident. Whose responsibility is it? Who's not? There's lawsuits as well. It's a pretty interesting situation, and we've obviously been reporting about that all week long. It's ongoing. Ernesto's question for you then. What do you think about snowflakes? Or should I say a single snowflake? Can you just expand on that? Because you've been reporting about the situation quite a bit.
Yeah, diving into this situation, it looks quite complex and everyone is looking for convenient scapegoats, I would say. Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the dynamic duo that sells overpriced tickets and with hidden fees, now point fingers to the snowflake you mentioned. Well, they call that a third party. The Snowflake then is trying to play it cool, saying, oh, guys, no man, it's not us. Maybe those bastards threat actors used stolen credentials and target customers who use a single factor authentication. So basically, there was no multi-factor authentication. But then again, hold up, aren't you supposed as a cloud provider to be the experts in data security and provide your customers with all the basic tools they need for security? It's kind of like saying no one broke into our house because there were no locks at all. So yeah, it sounds kind of strange, the whole situation. Maybe the tenants should also be responsible for securing their own flats or properties, but that doesn't mean you as a landlord have no responsibilities here at all. And it's not the first time when cloud providers kind of wash their hands in such situations. I think Microsoft had something similar in the previous breaches. And I believe Microsoft is also in the process of enforcing multi-factor authentication only now on its Azure cloud accounts. So basically, it should have been done many years ago, in my opinion.
Essentially, as always, users or someone else is there to blame. What's important to say here is that sensitive information of over 500 million peoples were leaked, and there's a reason we started talking from Taylor Swift. We know that she has a huge fan base, and they are likely be targeted with all the information that was leaked, right? Like emails, names, surnames, all that. Partial credit card data was even leaked. I'm not sure what can you do with partial credit card information.
I was looking into. Presumably, you'd have to find a pretty stupid concert ticket buyer, I guess, because in order for hackers to do something with that data they stole, customers should need to enter all these details and not get suspicious about what they're doing. And I believe that Ticketmaster is not really fussed too much about the whole incident, really, as far as I'm aware, because they maybe are aware that it's not really going to be possible to steal that much or to breach a lot of like private accounts or whatnot.
Oh, no big deal. It's like, what, financial fraud, is it a serious problem? Nah, don't
No,
think
but
so.
it's not. They're not denying that financial fraud is possible. Of course, everything is possible every day and every minute of the day. But the possibility that financial fraud or theft might be committed is pretty low, maybe in their
Well, for
in their
spammers, if you have
calculations.
560 million records on the consumers, it's just a statistic probability that you will probably have many successful phishing attempts. So
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
coming to Europe. So imagine a huge fan base. They are getting, trying to get tickets, and then they don't manage, maybe because there aren't any tickets left, maybe because some bots snatched some of the tickets. And then, they, let's say, get some emails like, hey, we are this company that still have tickets to the Swift concert, right? And that's simple phishing, and you don't even need that credit card data. You just have an email, know what person is interested in, and you might fool them quite easily. I mean, what Ernesto said, there's a lot of people's data leaked.
Yeah.
So
Statistically, of course, it's
also,
it's
but
very
you
possible.
can't get it for free. Hackers ask for a half of $1,000,000, so you should spare some money from buying tickets.
Yeah, well, I actually think that it's good that we're in Europe, really, because I think Europeans are not that adept at buying like stuff with their credit cards. I mean, of course, we do buy things online and stuff like that, but for concerts, I believe a lot of people will still go to a kiosk or something, or to a third party that has a right to sell those tickets
well,
in
yeah,
each country
that's
where
for sure.
Taylor is performing.
But again, I was a little bit maybe distressed. Well, the way everyone is trying to shake off responsibility, and it's not just Ticketmaster. Well, the company is having problems in the US anyway. It's been enjoying its monopoly essentially for years, and it's just essentially is doing whatever. But also we do report on so many breaches. And have you noticed that whenever there's a breach report notification, there would be a sentence from all the companies saying that, oh, we don't have any proof of misuse of that data. Of course you don't have now, and you might not have it in the nearest future, right? But if the data is out there, eventually maybe hackers, they will lower the price, or as it happened with Facebook, WhatsApp databases. First they try to get some money. If they don't, they just still leak that data for free, so then everyone can go and spam users. So
It's interesting. I agree, because okay, there's already a class action lawsuit filed against Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the parent company, saying that Ticketmaster failed to prevent this illegal access to customer data. At the same time, okay, Snowflake, the name was thrown out into the wild by these hackers that posted the leak on the marketplace of hackers. But don't you think that maybe Ticketmaster or Live Nation would actually be glad and okay to see Snowflake admit responsibility, because that would mean that they're not responsible and the class action lawsuit might be thrown away? Because look, this that data cloud provider is responsible, not us. So okay, yeah, of course it's a process, and it takes days to actually find what really happened inside the company. But if Ticketmaster was really relying on this third party, really, for a contractor, to be honest, and then somehow this data ends up out in the wild, maybe Snowflake being responsible would be a good news to Ticketmaster.
Could be good news for them. CrowdStrike and Mandiant are now looking into Snowflake, and at least up until now they've been corroborating Snowflake's statement, saying that it's not really related, but we know that it's going to take months, if not more, for them to conclude the investigation. So I guess, maybe best case scenario at the end of the year, we'll hear more, But nearly every company uses some sort of third-party provider.
Yeah.
So, again, this is just a blame game, but meanwhile, users' data is somewhere out there, for threat actors to abuse. And even though, Ticketmaster might be okay in the end from this. I'm not sure that all the users will be. You said that okay, we might buy tickets from official, providers, and when it comes to tickets, yes, maybe those who want, they will get to Swift's concert and it's gonna be fine. But again, emails are there and other sensitive data, meaning that
it's
they
all
can
user financial transactions. All user financial. That alone is a gold mine, I would presume. What do you think, Ernesto? So, yeah.
Well, the problem is here that everyone just wants to squeeze every last penny from everyone else. A cloud provider kind of wants to attract the customers and provide the easy-to-use services without multi-factor authentication. Ticketmasters just want to sell their expensive tickets. And of course, hackers want to obtain as much data as they can to scam people. So, well, data, yes, and the personal information security is just somewhere on the sidelines. So.
It's non-existent, is it? Also, just multi-factor authentication. I don't really understand how such huge companies can operate without that being in place, right? And it's so easy to guess, one's username and password with all bots and automation in place. So how is that not enforced? I can't even imagine. And then what you said, I don't have doors to my house, and then was I robbed or I wasn't? Whose fault is it, right? So I have to take some of the responsibility, even if you did everything right and by the law, right?
Yeah, if I get my little grubby hands on your data, it should not be that easy for me to, extort money or log into your accounts and scrape everything.
Yeah.
Big on metaphors today, I see. Anyway, I wonder what comparisons we will produce when we talk about Google once again. As we have said numerous times, we love Google, but boy, it's hard sometimes. Jurgita, again, we cannot escape talking about Google really because there's been more news surrounding this tech giant over the past week. Yes, we did talk about Google's struggles with the new AI overview feature last week. It now looks like it's been shelved for a bit. I mean, it's still probably active, but rolled back and being fixed. But there's more problems than glue on pizza at Google. It is the largest internet company out there. I can only see that the problems are also probably one of the largest ones as well. This time, it was hit with not one, but two leaks over the past week. And, it's pretty hilarious, also concerning because it's been going on for 5 years between 2013 and 2018, and we haven't even had a sniff about what was going on. I was using Google's voice assistant. We were all using probably Google Maps and whatnot, but YouTube. It turns out they've been inadvertently, accidentally getting all of our data, even the one that we deleted.
How could they leak
hilarious.
This? I don't understand that.
Wow. Maybe they have some conscience or morals inside these anonymous
Maybe
employees.
their AI is getting sentient and now want to fight the human cause.
Yeah. And they're not even the Gemini AGIs, but the OpenAI AGIs. I don't know. So what happened was that the anonymous Google employees leaked this internal database to 404 Media. Kudos to them, because they soon reported that Google had been collecting sensitive data from users. And some examples are really out of this world. I mean, not really, but it's still my eyebrows did go a bit high when I read what was going on. So it's 11 to 6 years ago, a bit oldish, but no one can say if it's not going on now, actually, I think. For example, the leak revealed that Google Audio feature unintentionally recorded the voices of around 1,000 children and kept it. Why not? Waze, an app owned by Google, sort of a Google Maps alternative, was leaking users' addresses, and that Google Street View was actually scanning, transcribing, and then storing cars' license plates. Fine. So many other incidents were reported. And I have to say, yes, this is an internal database that Google's own employees are reporting what's going wrong within Google, and presumably the problem is then getting fixed. But it's still out there registered as an issue, and in real time, it's still happening. I mean, back then, right? So it's being reported and it's done, but in those 2 or 3 days or weeks, while the problem is still active, it's still a problem, and who knows who took that data that accidentally spilled over? I don't know. That one, Jurgita marked as hilarious that on YouTube, recommendations were based on users' deleted watch history.
Yeah, precisely. Why do you delete data? Because you don't want others to know that you listen to Taylor Swift, let's say, before this podcast, right? And
I
then
did not.
Google, what YouTube would keep recommending you some Swift-related videos, probably. So that's how I understand it. If I am
I
deleting
haven't
that,
tried it yet, but this is an idea actually. We should all, maybe now it's not going to work, but if you delete your watch history, what do you get? Like, what kind of YouTube do you see when you open it up after deleting your watch history? Is
guess-
it like the most viral, popular worldwide stuff or regional? Or is it still going to be based on something that you did watch in the past and deleted, but not really?
But I guess, since YouTube, Google, pretty much the same thing. If you delete just YouTube history.
They can get your Google stuff.
Yeah. And I wasn't actually that spooked by that leak. Didn't surprise me much because a few days ago we talked about weight loss, just having a usual break, and we chatted about what to do, whatever. And then I remember opening my browser. I don't know what website that was, but suddenly I started getting these ads. Oh, you have problem losing weight? Like, no. How do you know? What do
I
you
got
know?
the same ads.
See,
I got the same ads.
I blocked all my
But
ads, so
I at
didn't
least I
get any.
Googled stuff because I was thinking of ordering these food plans. But this is like...
so that's how I get, and I've heard this a couple of times before, people getting spooked by, like once a few years ago, I remember my shoot store being in the office, and then I thought, oh, before going to meet my friend, I'm just gonna go to a shop nearby and buy some new shoes because I couldn't walk in them anymore. And then it was Instagram at that case, but I started getting shoe ads, and then I don't remember Googling anything, like, because I knew where the shop was at the time. I don't know, maybe in some cases it's
Maybe you looked on Google
coincidence.
Maps?
No, I didn't.
You must have done something. They cannot just get it.
Well, they
from
can
your
actually,
audio.
like Alexa and other devices, they do listen to you, and they do store.
Passively, even?
Yes.
crap.
There's been reports on that, So that's the thing where I do get spooked, And them like using. Also, there was another Google leak, more serious one last week. It's cell-based documents, but essentially one of the surprising things for me was that, well, it said that it doesn't use your home data, but apparently
They do.
It does. So,
Yeah.
and you keep talking that and keep saying, putting it the way that, oh, Google is experiencing problem and Google is under the spotlight. And yes, while it is, it's actually publishers and users who are getting, in the crossfire, because essentially Google is so big, no matter what it does, its documents now, the cell leak documents, I think there were like 14,000 of them. And, all the publishers jumped to read those documents because what Google says is a gospel for them. And so many businesses depend only, on Google's algorithm. And it hasn't been transparent with what it does, how it, ranks your website, your articles. And, just having this leak is... it's not a problem for Google, I guess. It's it's a problem for publishers who are now reading and going through these documents, trying to figure out what they didn't know, about the algorithm. It just shows that Google is not being transparent, and we are just playing a guess game in so many cases, just trying to figure out what Google likes and what it doesn't.
Let me put a conspiracy theorist cap
Eagerly waiting.
and say that Google is not some evil mustache-twirling corporation that collects our deepest secrets. They do something for greater good. They don't tell us why they do that. And all the media raccoons are just trashing their place and trying to make them look bad. So we should leave Google alone and give them a rest and love them.
We do love them, as we said before, but we just don't know them good enough. We just want to get to know you.
They don't want us to know them, in a sense that they are a private corporation, aren't they? And they built their business basically from scratch. I remember, like in the late 90s, I was even using Alta Vista as my primary search engine, not Google. But
what is it? Explain now. I don't think our
Alta
younger generation would know.
Alta Vista was a search engine. Just like Google, you type altavista.com onto your browser, and then that's it. And you just Google stuff.
No,
See,
you Alta Vista stuff then.
Yeah.
But the feeling is
Google
in the
a
air,
verb
like
now.
previously of the Google was some kind of cool company that everyone enjoyed using
Was
the
it?
service.
They
Yeah,
had cool headquarters. That's it.
Yeah, but
Was
nowadays it's
was a
all
search
about-
engine ever looking nice? It was simple and effective.
I watched.
Now it's not even effective actually with the AI.
Talking
stuff
about
being
now,
pushed.
yes, I watched the Linus Media Group prepared a video where they kind of suggest how to de-Google your devices. So
Nice.
yeah,
Another verb that's sorely needed in our vocabulary.
But
Google.
Can you imagine, living in the world where search engines don't exist? The way we started using the internet, you would just know, names of 3 to 4 websites. You would go and take your information from there.
Yeah, of course, search engines are needed. I presume no one here is saying that we should get rid of search
I'm
engines
saying
or
maybe
Google.
we could. Like,
yeah, you can look for information on TikTok, and if you can't find any there, you can go to ChatGPT.
And then ChatGPT goes to Bing. And where are we going with this? I don't know. Google is, let's remind our dear viewers that it's still right now is the largest, it's the subject of the largest antitrust lawsuit in the US in the 21st century. And I do feel a bit more respect to I do respect the administration anyways, the Joe Biden's administration, but the antitrust regulators are doing quite an effective job, it seems. At least they're starting the investigations. Who knows how well they will end and when, because they might take decades, if not
do you think
more.
they even understand what's there? Like what's...
The regulators.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have the right to subpoena the shit out of those companies and get the internal databases legally and lawfully. So if they do that, if that stage is reached, and then they suddenly decide to leak it to some publishers who are already angry at Google, and it's all going to be out there. So I hope for as much transparency as possible with regards to the subjects of Google and Amazon and Meta and all these other big tech companies, which are, according to the FTC and the Justice Department, are probably doing something very monopolistic and not very nice to others, especially publishers. And we've talked about this in our company and while having beers or whatnot. But especially with AI overview, you cannot not be worried about this AI stuff being on the top of the search page, and only then, and maybe not even on the first page, you can maybe reach and find some trustworthy and fact-checked information. And actually, while I am talking about AI overviews again, there's been a story on the Washington Post which I really loved, saying that these issues with AI overviews, these hallucinations and mistakes and funny or tragic ones, who knows? But they might simply be unfixable just because of the nature of how AI models are built and trained. This guy, a supposedly well-known computer scientist, Grady Booch, he said that it might be unfixable because all large language models are inherently and irredeemably unreliable narrators. At a basic level, they are designed, and this is a keyword, I guess, they're designed to generate answers that sound coherent, not answers that are true. And they cannot be fixed because making things up is just how AI works. It's trained on stuff, but if stuff is not reliable, AI is not going to be reliable. And it's actually a pretty deep hole they've dug themselves into. And I do, for instance, believe that when Google says, while explaining the AI overview hallucinations, that vast majority of users, what they see is correct, I do believe them. But when Google is used by billions of people every day, and so it's not rolled out everywhere, the Google AI overviews, but even in America alone, let's say 300 million people are using it every day. So there are going to be cases, if it's not fixed, and it's probably not possible to, because there are going to be cases when that AI overview will get really badly wrong, and then out of these cases, let's say 1,000, maybe in 2 of the 1,000 cases, this is going to cause some harm, and maybe some, major harm.
Oh,
I don't
then
know.
in the US, I bet that someone will try and take Google to court because they read something on Google and then trusted it. I don't know what's the obsession with trying to fix everything, to fix Google, to fix AI and all that. I think we just need to understand how it functions. It might give you some right directions, but what is there to fix? I like it. Some funny answers.
Yeah, these funny answers. Yeah, okay, but then when Google, if it's like if it becomes a default structure of its search page, when you get these summarized hogwashy lines on the top, and then only then, or maybe even not at all, get these normal answers for publishers who understand what a fact is, and they don't need to train their systems. They just open an encyclopedia or whatever, or they just know stuff and fact check and confirm and authenticize and whatnot. I also like this line from another scientist on the Washington Post page. Is that okay? So if Google AI overviews are never going to be perfect, and if they really wanted to make it perfect, Google could throw enormous amounts of cheap human labor to plaster over its most egregious lines. And what that essentially mean, that Google might become a content farm masquerading as a search engine, and a content farm would employ low-wage human labor. So here we go again.
But again,
20th century, welcome back.
I don't think they implied somewhere that, news or like other proper search results, they are not disappearing from the search engine, meaning even now you get some hogwash and ads at the top of, every search page, because this is the most visible part, and, they are having an exclusive right to push what they want to push, some ads, some better designed, written SEO texts and whatnot. You will still have all the results as long as you are not too lazy to scroll a little bit, and do your own research. If you are not happy with the answer by Google overview, because in some cases...
Yeah, but then why do you make this the most visible and pretty picture, like a box of this AI overview, answer your main feature of the search page? I would get rid of AI overviews, obviously.
But it will work. And as you said yourself, like for the majority of queries and majority of people, it will work just fine if you Google just very simple stuff, right? They will fix the problems that are obviously like wrong, where some misleading health information, like whether you can smoke when pregnant. But when they fix, those
but then maybe they should... because the publishers and the media organizations aren't really happy with Google for years now, right? So maybe they could pay them back a bit by hiring human fact checkers to go over the most popular AI overview queries and then fact checking them and making sure that it's correct factually. Maybe that could work. I don't know. But for now, I would just probably get rid of it because, anyways, I mean, all these antitrust investigations being started against NVIDIA, OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, name it. They're going to show us something pretty nasty, I think.
Will they? What happened with Facebook? It was also like in the Senate hearings and
It's
whatnot.
turned to shit because of regulations.
Yeah, but what about the business?
yeah,
it
I
doesn't
don't care about
matter.
the business. What are they hurting me with their shitty business right now? No, they can make their money.
But how did it become better for you after all the hearings and
They
all the
didn't.
fuss in the Congress? Nothing happened.
They maybe became less influential
Really?
over the decisions the governments make around the world. I hope so. Yeah.
I don't think so. I doubt it.
Well, we agree to disagree. Moving on, right? Or do you want to, Ernestus, crack a joke or something?
No, I don't have a jokes, but I think that those tools are kind of useful 95% of the time. We should not just get rid of them. But what could be the solution? I don't know. Probably no one knows. Maybe just a big disclaimer that AI is often wrong.
It's not 100% correct.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah.
But then what's the point?
But yeah, is the
No.
But are the search results always correct? Are humans always correct when they are talking? We are not only talking facts. We sometimes make nonsenses. Yeah.
even
Sure, but we do not buy each other. We're not basing, I don't know what I want to say.
but even
But you can buy
encyclopedia.
spoiled fruits at the shop, and so what should they not sell fruits then?
I don't know, like
Disclaimers.
the whole internet is just it's loads of misinformation and whatnot. It's not created there for just hard facts, which I don't think in most cases we even know what those facts are. And as I keep repeating myself, I think the internet was created for cats, and I think we should still have a little bit fun with it and not be maybe too serious sometimes. Just
Yeah.
know the flaws of AI tools and the limitations, and maybe not trust blindly. But
Yeah, there's another quote I remembered. I think I shared it with you a few days ago. Someone commented on AI's possibility to become an AGI and pass humans on ability scales. And someone said it's gonna take years and years for AI to catch the abilities of a cat. Because cats are awesome.
yeah, but how long will it take us to get as smart as cats are?
I've lost hope. Right, Ernestus. Tom Cruise, yes or no?
Not a huge fan.
But do you believe what he says about Scientology, life, and everything?
Yeah, he can come up with his own alternative facts for sure.
Well, he did, but not on his own volition. This time, he's apparently loved over on Russian Telegram channels that have been promoting a faux documentary called Olympics Has Fallen. Masters of cringe, I would say. Cruz is the star of this show. Of course, it's a show full of lies and half-truths, but mostly lies. Tell us more. What happened, Ernestus? It's a pretty interesting story. Would you believe that documentary if you watched it without any context in your head beforehand?
Well, personally, I did not watch it, so it's hard for me
Nice.
to tell what's in it. And probably we should mention that Tom Cruise did not participate in any of this at all.
Of course.
Just,
It's a deep fake.
Yeah, it's a deep fake used by Russian propagandists on Telegram channels to spread lies about Paris Olympics this summer. Also, France in general, because, France is a big supporter of Ukraine, and Russians are kind of angry about that. So it's not as much about Tom Cruise. It's about Russia and their propaganda, and they are putting a lot of effort to undermine the Olympics. And now security researchers are warning that a lot of threat actors are kind of sharpening their claws, before the games, and everyone should be prepared.
I would. Can I just interject for a minute? The reason Russian athletes are not going to be participating, at least under their own flag, in the Olympics is not only the invasion of Ukraine, but also the numerous and continuous doping campaigns that have been engaged in. I mean, they've been cheating, basically, results of athletes for years. Worse than GDR, I would presume. Yeah, that's the two most important reasons, and they're angry. They cannot show off how great they are as a nation or whatnot, and they're not. I'm sorry, but yeah, go on.
That's a good sum up. So basically, Russia has a track record of intervening in many political and other events worldwide, and so the track record goes as far as probably to the Soviet Union and when the Russia was banned from Olympics. So what's different this time and why we are talking about Tom Cruise is the use of AI-generated imagery. And security researchers noted that this time the content they produce is kind of believable because they use slick computer graphics, they promote content across social platforms, they even deceived some US celebrities into recording short video endorsements. So yeah, this time they kind of can produce more of the content and more believable content. So that's why it's important to talk about and inform people that they should not believe everything they see online.
I wonder why they are targeting Cruise. This is not the first time. I think first deepfake surfaced, it was in 2021. And even then we were surprised how believable that was and how relatively easy it was to make. And now again, he resurfaces, and I've tried to research some of the apps tuned into to some videos where they would compare like a real video of Tom Cruise and then fake, and they would use like other celebrities, and the conclusion is that now you can't really tell apart. Like before, just a year or two ago, the limitations were that if you would move too much and you would show your like side of the face, then there would be a glitch in the system, and then you could tell that okay, it's actually AI. But now the technologies they improved so much that it's really user-friendly technology to make deepfake. You don't even need that much resources or hacker power to produce these narratives. And we know that just spreading propaganda will be one of the areas where Russians are already putting a lot of effort to spread. Of course, there's gonna be some more disruptions from DDoS attacks, right, on Olympics-related web pages, ticketing systems, tourism. They will target high-profile athletes. Again, what Ernestas mentioned, because France is a huge supporter of Ukraine, they will try to, and they've already done that in the past, try to undermine the French government, right? But the interesting fact, and there was a Google blog released just yesterday, was it there where researchers said that you should actually use like burner phones when traveling to Olympics? You quoted something briefly, and
they had this infogram where they kind of mentioned that burner phones are kind of advised. But those were kind of general security precautions, what you should make before going to the Olympics.
Huge crowds. Paris is a large city with lots of thieves. And it's just generally not going to be probably too safe to walk among the crowds. And I mean, my friend went to Brazil, to Rio, a few years ago. In 5 minutes, he got his phone stolen on the street. So I mean, Paris
that's what a Russian would say, because one of the narratives was that now 8 out of 10 Parisians are afraid of a terrorist attack precisely because of those huge crowds. And while it's
but it's real. The problem is real, so we cannot deny it. They can misuse it, and they do. They exaggerate the issue or whatnot, but the issue is still there. So I mean, burner phones. I was only speaking about burner phones. Burner phones might be a good idea because someone might steal your phone. That's it. Not breach it. Maybe both.
They might breach it, and that's the point of cyber attack.
course.
There could be like wiper malware, and all those hacktivism aside, we know that all hackers, threat actors, they are financially motivated. So while some will engage, especially like state-sponsored groups, they will engage in espionage and propaganda. Most of threat actors there will try to somehow get into your wallet. Not physically steal your phone, but would steal what's in your phone. I don't think that's a huge loss. Even if you lose your expensive iPhone, it's just it's just a phone, whatever. It's just a momentarily monetary loss. But what about what's in there? That's the treasure trove. Something that they can abuse. Especially if you have some data they are related to your employer, right? And when it comes to your company, and this is invaluable, compared to someone just stealing your phone, whatever.
Yeah, during the previous Olympics, Russia peddled the malicious apps to track scores or whatever, but they were filled with malware, and Google blocked many of that. But yeah, campaigns are still ongoing.
Well, either way, Google and Mandiant, they say that the security community is better prepared this time for cyber threats because obviously insights were gained in past events. But then again, 4 years ago, we didn't have AI booming as much as it is now. So, these attacks might be just more effective, faster, more large scale.
Also, it's just there are more crooks now, because before you need to have at least a little bit of knowledge. Now there are so many tools that are just off the shelf. So essentially, you just maybe rent some software or buy it, and it's easy for you to become a crook. So I think there might be a lot of opportunistic attacks, and it usually is right. Maybe some.
And for me, what's the most worrying probably that Russia is not only about the cyberspace, but also about the active measures, so-called. So I'm afraid that they could actually make something, probably stage something and commit some crimes just to prove their points or to use that in their propaganda. They can offer some tea, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like during the, especially it was active at the beginning of the Ukrainian war, right? They usually coincide their cyber operations with kinetic operations just to kind of help them, make moves on the ground, So such a big event as Paris Olympics might also, mean something very physical and on the ground, whether in France or in Ukraine or anywhere else that Russia just sees fit, I guess.
I'm more afraid of not cyber attacks, but
someone stealing your phone.
No, the side of maybe a Russian or a Russia-friendly athlete winning a gold medal somewhere, and then these Russian fans with T-shirts and flags pop up in the stand somewhere. Hate the sides of those because they shouldn't even be there and cheer for a country that is banned. I don't know.
And many athletes will not want to compete against them probably if there's a game.
Yeah, but then some still want the gold medal and will compete.
But there's gonna be no Russian anthem, at least.
Do you think they care about that anthem?
I care. I love very much that they can compete, but not under Russian flag. That means a lot to me.
Wouldn't you like them to not compete?
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, because I think that this campaign of cheating and using these drugs to inject
I love the drama.
It's been going on for 15 to 20 to 30 years. It was systematic, so they should be banned. Like, I don't know, not forever, but for at least that same amount of years. But we didn't answer the most important
question.
What
Why
is it?
Tom Cruise?
Oh, I have a theory. Because I think he's still one of the best-known faces around the world, especially in parts of the world where Russia is hoping to attract attention with its messages, like Global South. India, China, Africa, South America, and obviously everywhere else it can. But I think Tom Cruise is still a very, very big star in, let's say, I don't want to say third world, Jesus, but developing world.
But
You
isn't he
said
like
that,
one
yeah.
of
I
the
did
most
say.
American flag waving person that you could find?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the point. Who is he? I mean, but he's just well known, and that means that he attracts attention to the messages that are in the film.
Yeah, I don't think that Russians are really bothered. That he waves the American
Yeah,
flag.
yeah.
It's
He's the right kind of American, you know.
they are still trying to buy iPhones and all
Exactly,
that,
yeah.
despite them being like banned in Russia, whatever. They are still trying to get their hands on the good stuff, on like McDonald's and
Yeah.
whatnot.
They're creating duplicates.
Or maybe they just wanted to insult him because Tom Cruise kind of makes his own stunts and doesn't without AI. So Russians thought, let's deep fake the crap out of him.
Could be. Ernestus, I see you quite talkative today, so I'm going to ask you another question.
So many questions today.
What the hell is a cyberbunker, and why should I care?
Aren't we in one now? Could we call it?
So this is quite an interesting story. It's a Cold War era military bunker, which is built to withstand nuclear blasts. Of course, NATO used it for a while, and then it was, I think, meteorological flank of German military. And then it was sold for a cybercrime ring. Probably at the time no one know that the company called Cyberbunker will be a darknet data center facilitating nearly 250,000 crimes like drug deals, data trafficking, cyber attacks. But so that happened. Of course, later over 600 officers raided the bunker, arrested the facilitators, and it was a huge operation. But since then, the bunker stood empty. It is now owned by a German state, which thinks that, well, probably we should sell it. So now they are looking for a buyer.
How much is it? Do we know?
No, the price was not announced, but I think we should definitely buy it. Because, well, what could be the safer investment than a bunker that can withstand nuclear blast?
Can it though? This is a common myth that
It has 5 stores under
bunkers
the
can
ground.
actually even help you withstand nuclear explosions.
It's probably all about the energy you put into the blast, and
Yeah, if it's like a Hiroshima Nagasaki kind of bomb, you would not stand. You would not get out alive.
yeah. With the previous price, the Cyberbunker bought, it was 450,000 euros.
No, it's
Probably.
okay. But for a
That probably would buy
1,500,
like 12 NVIDIA systems or something nowadays.
5,500 square meters, that's quite a lot. That's like a mid-range shopping mall. Yeah,
Like a
Even
good
more than
podcast
that.
studio.
maybe, yeah. What do you think will be done to that bunker? I mean, what's going to be going on there?
There
Is
were
it
some
like a shooting range or something?
Yeah, there were some proposals that it should become a cheese storage or a wine depot or a bunker hotel, but the state has not yet decided on what should actually be there, and it kind of waits for proposals from the buyers. So you should not only come with money, but also with idea
Business plan.
how to make that into some economical viable project, create jobs and whatnot.
I just wonder why NATO doesn't want it if it can definitely withstand nuclear blast. Why is it even selling if that's
Yeah,
such
so
a valuable
maybe it cannot
facility?
stand nuclear blasts. You know, maybe they have enough shelters already.
Yeah,
And-
Voltec probably is already created somewhere and they have better bunkers.
I think we should look into that. I don't know. A bunker in Germany sounds like something
German.
something German. Yes, Oktoberfest underground.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny though. The cybercrime ring called Cyberbunker is, okay, we're gonna do our stuff in a bunker, living to the stereotype on steroids. I would
Yeah,
say.
like while the majority of robocall centers or scammers, they just
It's like
operate in like
office
business
blocks.
centers. Yes, office blocks, exactly.
Yeah, and with that, we ring bye to our viewers. This has been Cyber News Weekly Podcast, and catch you all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.